one thing one day, Josh was talking about,
Okay.
Wednesday, but I haven't seen it.
They scheduled it.
So, yeah.
Well, I would, if we need to push back on it until we just have at least 2 or 3 days to review the or to review the report.
But it's good. Can give us an opportunity to. So either way, I think I'm okay. We'll have to look at it. And then Ken from I tried pushing it to October, and he gave me like October.
I'm sorry? We're ready? Okay. Good afternoon. I'd like to call the meeting of the Corpus Christi B Corporation Type B to order. Ms. Box, if you will please call the roll.
Yes, ma'am. President Leah Olivari.
Present.
Vice President Alan Wilson.
Here.
Secretary Diana Summers.
Here.
Mark LaRue.
Present.
Jesus Jimenez. Late. He's going to be late. Robert Temez. Vishnu Reddy. City Manager Peter Zanoni.
Present.
A quorum of the board is present to conduct the meeting.
Thank you very much. Before we begin the meeting, I'd like to have Dr. Reddy say a few words. This is his first meeting. He was just appointed.
Thank you, everyone.
Welcome to the board.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. It's an honor to be a part of the board, and so healthcare is important to everybody, and I think the city is growing, industry is growing, so I'm very glad to be a representative of that field. And thank you very much for the opportunity.
Great, great. I'm sure you'll be an able member of the board. It was nice to have Eric Evans on for a while. We didn't get to really utilize his talents enough in the medical field, but it's, like you say, very important.
Thank you very much.
Component of our community and economic development. Okay, with that, is there anybody here that would like to make a public comment? I don't see any hands. Ms. Box, is there anybody who has submitted any comments?
No, ma'am.
All right, with that, we have before us the meeting minutes from July 15th and August 19th. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
All right, thank you very much. I have a motion and a second. I think it was Mr. Wilson and Mr. Temez. Is that right? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, same sign. The motion is approved. With that, we have the financial report. Welcome.
Thank you. Sergio Villasan, Director of Finance. We have a brief presentation here of the July 31st Corpus Christi B Corporation financials. If we can get the presentation up, please. Okay, if you have the presentation, it should be in your packet. If we start with the page slide number 2, and there's a nice summary at the top table. We're going to go ahead and jump down to the next table, which has the allocation per uses. And we start with the affordable housing use. And the affordable housing started the year with a beginning fund balance of about $2.2 million, and we had revenues about $625,000, expenses and transfers out of $27,000, with an ending fund balance of 2.8. Is everyone okay following along, or no, not yet?
Well, why don't we wait just a second? Are they trying to get it up?
Yes, Mr. Escobar went back to try to get it pulled up.
Yeah. I see some members have it printed, some members can get it on their phone.
Yeah. That would be the second slide that says B Corporation financial position. Page 14 in the book.
Let me pull it up. So I have it. I did not print it. I know.
For one time.
Dr. Reddy, have you gotten it on the Legistar? Okay, great. Okay, so we'll move along then. We're on slide 2 now.
Okay, so let me know if you're able to see slide 2 on your computer.
I think we've all got access to it too, so you can go ahead.
Okay. So we have the presentation for the July 31st. On slide 2, at the top of the slide is a table that summarizes all funding uses. But I started with jumping to the second table on the sheet so we can see the allocation per use. And I can go through the affordable housing again just to get everybody up to speed. Affordable housing is the second column to your left on the bottom table. We start with the beginning fund balance of about $2.2 million. Revenues of $620,523. Expenses and transfers out $27,190, leaving an ending fund balance of $2,889,008. The table also has commitments of $1 million. We'll cover those later on in the presentation. This leaves an ending fund balance for affordable housing of $1,889,008. The next column over, we have economic development. It has a beginning fund balance of $12 million. Revenues as of July 31st amounted to $4.3 million. We have expenses and transfers out of $1,785,215. This leaves an ending fund balance as of July 31st, 2024 of $14,592,286. We have commitments of $6,736,773, leaving an uncommitted fund balance for economic development of $7.8 million. Next column over, we have the financials for streets. We have a beginning fund balance of $237,434. Revenues and transfers in of $3,329,562. We have expenses and transfers out of $39,724. This leaves an ending fund balance of $3,527,271. Thank you much. We also have future commitments amounting to $4,327,599,000, leaving a negative fund balance of $800,328. So this next slide.
And just to emphasize, those are fund balances as of July. So we still have 2 more months of revenue to book in some of those funds, correct?
That is correct. We have August and September that's pending to be recorded.
Plus 2025.
Yes, that is correct. So the next slide is it's a detailed listing of the expenditures, and here just want to highlight the largest expenses as of July 31st is under economic development, with small business projects amounting to $950,000 to $924,000. We have major business incentives coming in second here with $677,887. Next, we have the detailed commitments by spending category. So we start off with affordable housing, and under affordable housing we have $1 million committed to infill housing incentive program. The next slide is economic development. We have about 1.8 committed to Next Sports Company, 1.2 million committed to Texas A&M Corpus Christi, 1 million committed to South Texas Military Housing, 2 million committed to Hilton Homewood Suites. And finally, we have 4.3 committed to street improvements. And last slide is just a recap of revenue.
Can you go back again to the street improvements? Because I just want to make sure people understand. You're not spending money you don't have. In other words, some of these expenditures, I believe, asking the city manager maybe, that these are commitments to a project, but we're not spending money in arrears, if you will. Correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that's correct, Chairwoman. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, these are commitments that will be paid in over the years shown here.
Right.
Yes.
So I don't want people to think, oh, you have an $800,000 deficit.
Yeah,
it's a paper
right.
deficit at this point.
Yes, ma'am. Right.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, the last slide is a sales tax revenue update. As of July 31st, revenues have exceeded budget by $166,000 or by 2.25%. And if there are no questions, that concludes my presentation.
Any questions, comments? Okay.
I do apologize for the technical difficulty.
That's all right. It wasn't your fault.
Yeah, sorry.
It's computers. It happens everywhere. I got one in my house that's got a problem. So.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, with that, we have one item to consider. This is an item we spoke about at the last meeting, and this is a public hearing, actually, on the item we discussed. So basically, I believe I need to open a public hearing on an agreement of up to $1.897870 to Del Mar College Foundation, Inc. for the equipment needed for 5 programs for enhanced skills training. And I see our helpmate from CCREDC here. Randy, do you want to give us a...
Yes, Randy Almaguer with the Corpus Christi Regional Economic Development Corporation. So just a little refresher, the last month we brought this, we had it as a motion and the board did pass it unanimously, but we just didn't place it under the public hearing to have. So that's where we're at. I know we have our new board member, Dr. Reddy here. If you had any questions on any of this in your packet, I'm here, be able to answer anything, or if you're comfortable with it, we can do that public.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Amador. Is there any, I've opened the public hearing, so I'd like to ask if there's any public comments on this item. All right, I don't see anybody. Therefore, I'd like to close the public hearing, and I would entertain a motion and ask for a second on this approval of the agreement.
So move.
Mr. Temez, second. Mr. Temez, and, okay, motion. Who are you? What's your name?
Diane.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Nice
It's
to
been a
meet
pleasure.
you too.
Okay, we have a motion and a second by the treasurer, Ms. Summers, or the secretary, Ms. Summers, and all those in favor. Is there any discussion? I'm sorry. This is a real good news story. It really allows us to continue some training efforts locally that are in demand occupations, right?
Yes.
And Del Mar has stepped up and said they'd be willing to take it to task and work with the private sector to make this happen. So, great story. Okay. I guess the next one is all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. I hear none. Therefore, the motion passes and the agreement is approved. Mr. Zanoni, do you have a report?
We do. We have a report to talk to you about today. And yeah, it is to acknowledge you, Chairwoman, and also Robert Tamez, right, this is your last meeting on the Type AB Corporation. So I have a few words to say, and then our staff's going to come up and present to you a little a plaque to thank you so much for the work that you've done for the city. So we want to honor you two, and that includes Leah Olivari and Robert Tamez and their outstanding leadership and service to the city of Corpus Christi through these very important, and you've said it many times, Type A and Type B corporations. So Leah, who served from 2017 to 2024, that's a lot of service, and Robert Tamez, who served from 2018 to 2024, have been key in driving numerous impactful projects for this community, many that we will benefit from for decades to come. That does include programs like the Water Garden restoration, which is beautiful, Homeward Suites Hotel downtown that is slowly coming out of the ground, looking great down there. The Gabe Lozano Golf Course. I think, Mr. Tamez, did you make it out there yet? I think you told.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, you told me you made it out there. That's the only nighttime lit golf course in the region, really. Whataburger Field capital improvements projects, making sure that city facility continues to be a great quality of life amenity and one that draws a lot of economic development dollars into our community. La Vista Point, South Texas Military Housing, very important project, and TAMU CC's drone program that was highlighted just recently at the State of the University this past week. Those are just a few of the projects. There's been many more, but because of your all's commitment to this community and willingness to think big picture and work with your colleagues on the boards over the years, as well as the city team, we've made this place a better city because of your efforts. So we want to thank you so much. I think Heather has, Arturo has a plaque that we're going to bring up.
Yeah.
A few of you all do. And we'd like to present them to both Leah Pageant Olivari and Robert Tamez. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you.
I don't see a diamond there. Yeah.
Mr. Tamez, do you want to say anything, if I may?
I'd like to thank the staff, legal, and economic development that have assisted us in making these decisions. Don't forget the marina also.
Yeah, I was thinking about
Okay.
that. Seawall.
Marina, the seawall.
Right.
But thank you for the assistance that you did in helping us make the decisions that we did. And I also like to thank Norma and what's her name, Rebecca, that have dealt with me for the past actually 12 years, because I served 6 years before, and then from 2009 to 16, and then this past 6 years. And also I served 11 years with the Convention Business Bureau, and I'd like to thank them because they assisted me while I was with Citgo and then with the L&B Engineering. So thank you very much. Be sure you tell Rebecca that, all right? And to you guys, especially Mark and you, Doc, and Diane, and welcome to you, Doc, and the other two guys, and please assist them with the little help that they'll need from you. You're losing a lot of seniority here, so.
Yeah, I think they can tell that.
So thank you very much. You too, Peter, all right? That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. I'll just echo what he said. I mean, really and truly, the staff support, whether it's city secretary, whether it's CCRE, DC, whether it's economic development, y'all really make this happen, every one of you. And the community members and partners, whether it's the colleges, whether it's the private businesses. I guess I'll take 1 second and say, you know, I've been thinking about the fact that we all get down a little bit on our community. You know, we have different political opinions, but, you know, we really live in a beautiful place, and we're very privileged to be able to participate and try to help it grow into the future. So thank you for letting me be a part of that. I really appreciate it, and I'm honored by the plaque, and I think those are mine and not Diane's. What's your name? Is that the? Yeah.
Diana, with the D.
Thank you very much. With that, I'll adjourn the meeting, and good luck to the new members, and I hope you have as much fun as we did.
Well, nice meeting you, Diane.
I really do.
We'll see you later.
Have appreciated being able to make it for all your
Well, it's, yeah, the phone still rings. I thought it was pretty ironic that Peter had to name the two projects that caused the most.